We are live. So, let's get a mic check real quick, bro. Let me
Mic check 1 2. Yo, yo, what it do?
damn it, hold on. Let me get to the channel so I can let me get to the actual video so I can see. All right, you in it. You in it. You good, bro.
All right.
Cool. So, anybody watching this, you see the title, you know what it is. It is going down. So I watched this guy, this YouTube content creator. His name he goes by Stephen Speaks, and he's a relationship guy, and he's really good. And you know what I like about him is he has content that's relevant to people already in relationships. Like, you know, I like Kevin Samuels. I do fucks with him and a lot of his message. But everything that he talks about or he has, whatever he's dealing with, is it's pretty much everything before you even jump. Once you get in a relationship, a lot of times what he's saying ain't even relevant.
Mm.
And you know, it can be relevant to some women because I've seen women, you know, on this show like, man, you know, I was a bad wife, but until I started listening to you, I started appreciating my man a lot more. And then this, and this, and that, you know, fair enough. So there are some things I guess some people can learn, but it's not the majority of his content. But this guy, Stephen Speaks, he makes some really good points, but he does package his content in a way that, you know, takes care with how, you know, it's seen. So, you know, it was really just that part. But anywho, he put out this video called he was speaking to women, and it was called, let me see here, I don't want to get it wrong. 7 things you should never say to a man. And I listened to this video, man, and it was pretty good. I mean, some of them I was like, nah, but some of them I was like, oh yeah, you definitely. I don't think he's speaking from his experience, but you know, when he's talking to women, and I'm just like, oh yeah, girls should know this one. So I just want to go through it, bro, and just chop it up with you about this because I think some of them are hilarious, but you know, it is kind of real, and you know, maybe through the two of us, we, you know, can shed some light on, you know, why it's important that women don't do X, Y, and Z. So,
No doubt.
you know, or at least how we see it. So, the first thing he put on the list was, why can't you be like my ex? So, if a girl said that to you,
What?
bro, what would you do? How would you feel?
Like, how could I be like, yo, how could I be more like your ex? Or why can't I be more like your ex?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
well, I am your ex now. What are you talking about? I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, well, like, not gonna be no other dude. What?
I mean, that part for real, bro. For real, man. That shit right there, dude. Like, yo, I'm sitting there like, wait. I mean, look, when it comes to exes and all that junk, your past is your past. And you know, if you a man and you can't get over your girl's past or you can't live with her past, then obviously y'all not supposed to be together.
Yeah,
So,
you know, but this is the thing though. She, why can't you be more like my ex? Like,
yeah,
if you just listen to that, you go, wait a minute, I'm not your ex. I'm your current, and there's a reason why he's your ex. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
But it's
And then
also
on
the
top of that,
well, I was gonna say it was also the you know, that make you looking like so you still fuck with this nigga then, or like what?
yeah,
Like
like,
you comfortable with her past, but then this kind of fucks that up a little bit. That's what I was showing y'all.
if she were to ever say something like that to me, I would say there's no way that I can go forward with you because this dude is a complete grenade in the back of your brain. And yeah, there is a certain level of when you break up with somebody, there's that grieving period, like the initial shock. Then there's the just unpackaging that you're not with that person anymore, and then there's the recovery, and then you're off to the next one. You're back to yourself, and then you find yourself in a new relationship with a person, and then you start building up things. Now you got traumas from your first one, like, okay, this person didn't do this. Make sure that this person has these things. And you might hear that in some of the questions for a person that's got a lot of relationships. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's one thing to say, hey, if you don't brush your teeth, or like if you're not a cereal washer, like this dude used to be a very meticulous dude,
Mm-hmm.
and you're not a meticulous dude, say, hey, can you be more meticulous? As opposed to be more like my ex dude. Like, no. Like,
Yeah, that's the move right there. For the ladies that are listening to this, it's just like, yeah, just ask your man, hey, can you do this? Or I would like it if you did this. You can leave your ex completely out the situation
yeah,
because
like,
what you
yeah,
like is what you like, and just be like, all right, well, look, or just be comfortable with the fact that he ain't like the other dude. And
yeah. I
some
mean,
men are different.
now I will say that there's things that, like, if you come into something that you like, okay,
Hmm.
my ex man, he used to wash both cars every Sunday right before I had to go to work. He took out the trash. He did this. Those are some things that you could be like, hey, I want those things, but don't say I want you to be like my ex man, because when you do that, then you're making me him. And if he's still got that kind of real estate in your mind, get away from it.
That shit right there. Most men would be like, man, what the fuck? So you still fuck with this nigga? Like you still like him? You still got feel like you. I mean, and that could be true because let's be real. Um, Obviously, it's not always the woman breaking up with the man. Most of my breakups have been initiated by me, frankly.
Right, yeah.
So
It's situational, but no,
yeah,
girls out there, don't ever compare your man to the next man, because every man is a god in his own right. And once you start comparing men to other men, it gets all bad. But the thing is, we also want to recognize, like, okay, especially if you got miles, you've been with a few men, whatnot, it's cool, but just note, like, I'm
ooh,
here. I am me. I will never ever be nobody else. And there might be
mm-hmm.
things that you like, and I can cater to the things you like, but I cannot be this. I can't be the repair to that guy. Like, oh, well, you kind of look like my ex, and then you seem a little nicer than he was, but you don't do some of the things he do, or you didn't go to school like he did, or something like that, you know?
Facts. And I mean, that's just one of them things. But I just I think if people were just more, I'm sorry, women, if you do this, I would just say it would behoove you to just be more straightforward and be like, hey, you know, I would like it if you wore cologne more, or if you. It doesn't have to be hygiene things, but it's like if you did this more, like why can't you be into this more? Why can't you show me? Why can't you reciprocate my love in this way? Or, it's kind of
Yeah,
like maybe the love languages are different. I
yeah,
know
yeah,
that it's possible that a girl could be like, hey, well, I mean, why don't you mentally fuck me like my ex did?
right.
Because it's a mental, like the mental aspect of it where a man could be fulfilling the woman mentally and, that's different than physical, having those
Yeah.
deep conversations and shit. So,
Yeah, knowing what to say is the right thing, but it's like when you take on a new person, you have to kind of you got to flush a lot of your old relationship away and just focus on what y'all have in front of y'all. Now, I will say, like, on the other end, like, I've had ex-girlfriends, and I'm like, man, I wish my girl did do some of the things that this girl did. Like, this girl had a confidence about her body to where she just wanted to wear lingerie. When she was sitting around, she was gonna put on the sexy panties to make sure I seen them. Wild shit like
hmm
that. But to tell my girl, man, why don't you go ahead and be more like my ex? That's like a smack in the face, really. I would never say
Yeah.
that to her, but what I could do is I could go out and buy her more lingerie. Now she got a whole dresser drawer full of underwear that's nothing but lingerie related. She got no choice but to start wearing more because I put it in a way.
Yeah, yeah. So, absolutely. And I mean, it's just different ways about asking for what you want, really. Ah, damn, I just
Yeah.
keep getting these tough cards. I really suck. I'm playing blackjack at the casino and I suck. I'm gonna just keep trying. I'm gonna just keep busting shit, bust it again. But anyway, man. So to the next. Now that was just point one of seven for this dude. And the second thing that he brought up was, you're not that strong. And it was essentially saying
Oh,
like, ladies, don't make your man feel physically weak. Don't emasculate him. If he's trying to move a couch or something, or you be like, baby, you ain't strong enough to do that. What you doing? Like
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not good. And it, would probably be better if it was like, yo, you need some help with that. Like, baby, why
right.
don't we just order some movers? I don't want that. I don't want this to be that tough on you or whatever. I don't know, but it's just like, be like, man, you ain't that. You're weak. What you doing? Like, it's just, ooh.
Yeah, it just leave a bad taste in the man's mouth because your man is supposed to be your provider. A man is all got pride, you know. Women, you don't want us going, especially if you don't have big breasts, saying, "Man, you need bigger titties." You know,
Oh
you know,
no.
you don't want to,
What's
you
up,
need
Liberty?
longer. You need a bigger ass. We don't do stuff like that to y'all. So don't say stuff like, you're not strong enough to do that. Now, sometimes men are hard headed, and you got to know your man. You got to know if he can. I mean, some people they just kind of if you're from a certain area or it's just certain lingo things don't offend certain people, and that's a taste on things. But the thing that does is it emasculates the man. What do you mean? I'm capable here. I'm strong here.
I
Most
mean,
men want to,
yes.
be seen that way. So when you do that, you take away from the power in the man that you're dealing with.
I mean, it's look. And what's going on, Liberty? Liberty, we're going down, we're reacting to a list that was put out by another content creator. You know, all I hear is, wait, I ain't check the chat. Let me see what she talking about. Uh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We're gaming. Let me see what I got here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm sitting there playing this
Son
UFC.
18. Yeah, well, no, we're just having some guy talk on the games, but this content creator put out a list of things that certain things a woman should never say to her man, and so we were just talking about essentially the woman saying, hey, you're essentially you're not strong, like if a man is trying to do something, it's like, hey, you're not strong enough to do that, or you know even
Like
if it was
from
like, yo, she can't open up the jar, and she like, well, I mean, are you really gonna get the job done? Like, okay, and it's just
yeah,
like
like in
essentially
my example,
emasculating the man would be not the best.
or it's just how you say stuff. Like me, I got a torn ACL. Now, I tore it, working out, trying to get in shape. But what happened is now I favor that knee. It's like it's not easy getting around as I once was. So now, like when I run into a physically taxing thing for my girl around a whole bunch of men, people walking around, especially if I'm in a competitive setting, going, "Are you going to be okay? Are you sure you want to do that with your leg?" Now, sure, there's some care there, but it's like, don't think that I. It's like don't go bet against your man. It kind of makes you feel like you're being chose against on that situation or demerited.
Hmm.
Like every
Well,
man wants a chance to do for himself.
it's just there are things that can be central to a man's ego or masculinity in a way that
Hmm.
and women kind of have the same thing, and there are just things that obviously men shouldn't say that would make a woman feel like less of a woman. You would make you feel bad. So it's just like one of them kind of situations. But we just gonna jump to the next thing because obviously this one is central to what we're doing now. And
Okay.
one of the things on this list was never say it's just a game. We're in the age where plenty of men, grown men, play video games, And it's essentially all about respecting what your partner enjoys doing. So it's just like, hey, to your man, that NBA 2K player that you got that he made, that's not just it's not just a game to him. He poured hundreds of hours. He was very diligent in how he cared for this character, and he put a lot of himself, he worked for it. And and the game is how he escapes, how he unwinds, and it's just a whole thing. But it was just like, yo, if your man is into gaming, and let's say he's doing something really important, and he's really into the game, and he's doing whatever, never just say, oh well, it's just a game. Like, this shit don't matter. It's just a game. Like, well, to him it does. And if it matters to him, then you should be able to respect the fact that it matters to him, and not belittle his hobby as
Well,
just a game or not important.
well, this is the thing. Girls want support. Often when they do stuff, they want. Oh, well, look at this, and they're gonna bring you things and show you stuff, and I don't really care inside, but you have to be like, oh, that's cool. You want to be feelings. You want her to feel that support from you. Oh, okay, and you take it a look and you give it its proper due on looking at it. When you got a guy, he's yelling at the screen. He's down by 10 points. He's frustrated. He's a competitor, and he's using his competitive, juices are flowing, trying to win this game, and it's all cerebral. You got a girl coming in. Why are you tripping? It's just a game. It's like, why do you say the stuff like, why do you get upset about the things you get upset about? Like, I could minimize the things you get upset about too, especially when they're nonsensical. It's like non-work related things. Like, why are you getting so worked up about the TV shows you do? Why are you getting so triggered about stupid things on the news? Or whatever girl's going to trip out about. It's like, don't minimize what I consider to be what I'm using as a pastime. Like, if this is what I'm doing, get out. If you're not going to support me, or if I'm just being too disruptive, I understand some dudes can really get yelling at the screen. I used to be one of them.
Oh.
But it's just like, respect my space and let me deal with my emotions in this thing. And, this is what I do it's like TV that I can control a little bit. That's the way I kind of see it in my head. Because it's, good movie, good action. You can kind of lose yourself in whatever character you're playing or not, and then you're into it. You're invested and you're playing. And girls should just know, like, one, don't ever delete the homies. Don't be deleting my career players, man.
Oh no. No, we don't do that. Don't be throwing the PlayStation in the pool because he's not giving you attention. I would say, if it is a problem for your relationship, like everything else, talk about it.
Yeah.
Have a conversation, but don't do it while he's playing the game. Don't come and stand in front of the screen and agitate and irritate him. Like, don't do that. But I feel like there is space for a conversation, around, yeah, what's up?
I was just gonna say, women, we understand. Like, if your man is like got an addictive personality and is starting to get in the way of functional things, that's one thing. Like, okay, this man, you ain't going to work the whole week because you've been sitting there playing this damn new game you got. Bills are still coming. Like, okay, get off your ass. And then
Yeah,
became,
yeah.
okay, I got to do something to shake you away from the outside so you can get back in the game. But if it's just, oh, well, I want attention, do things like cater to what his passion is, and then work your way out of it. Like, okay, if the boy likes 2K, hey, I want to join you. I want to play too. Now you play a play now game. Let him crush you in the game. You don't even care about winning. You just playing. Now you're talking to him. Now you're in his world, and then you can work your way into something else.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Read these comments. I like to read the comments. So yeah, Liberty says, we all know game time is usually the man, isolated time. I grew up on this, when they play in the game, leave them be. She also says gaming is what most men do. on their spare time. It's very common. I usually find something to do while he is occupied, like listening to music or something. And I mean, I'm the kind of man where I'm a fucking curmudgeon. I'm a grumpy, ornery son of a bitch. So I want my own time. Like I need my alone time. Whether the house is full of kids or not. I've been in a house. My girlfriend has 5 kids in that house at times. Do foster parenting or taking care of her nieces, whatever. But, with them kids, I will go in the living room, close the door, and just be in there by myself. I'll occupy that whole fucking room by myself, and I have no problem with it, dude. Like, because I just need my time to decompress after work, and I just need time away from the madness. But that's just me and how I operate. So even if my girl's like, yo, I want to come in, I mean, maybe, but not every day. Like, let a brother get a half hour after a long day of work. I just got home, or I just logged off to the computer because, work from home now. But I just got done dealing with these crazy people. Just let me get a half hour to chill. But, this whole, it's just a game thing, the devaluing of, a man's hobbies and what he likes as well. That also, what was I going to say? Sorry, I got distracted. But, that also extends to sports. Oh, it's just a game. Yo, how your man is feeling from them sports, that shit's real. And it's real to him. And it's just like, whatever is important to your guy, just have enough respect for him to validate that shit because, in the moment, and you're just like, I just don't get it. It's just a game. Like, why is he freaking out like this? Why is he doing this instead of spending time with me or whatever else? It's like, just if it gets to be out of control and it's just too much time, fine. But you got to give people their space to because we're all individuals. You got to have your own hobbies. You got to have the stuff that you like. And not everything that you like is something that can be done with me or vice versa. So I'm sorry, I gotta keep up with the comments because I'm gonna release this conversation on the on a podcast platform so those people can't see the comments. Okay. NBB. Okay. He says, I like what I like, but can't go there. What I really want to do when it comes to trans women, specifically for him or her, I don't know. YouTube is like, you don't know who the fuck you're talking to. Unlike Facebook would be like, oh yeah, it's, Kenneth Jones from wherever the fuck. What the fuck is this guy doing? My player isn't doing this fucking, the game is freezing. What's going on here? Anywho, Liberty was saying, to be honest, Chris, usually the best time to go make up, shopping, or do some other errands when I get back. So when I get back, I get all the love and attention I can handle. Fair enough. Yeah. Maybe go do something else. But that's guys, man caves are real. And men don't build up man caves or provide a space for themselves to just decompress just so that it can be invaded by everybody else in the house.
Really don't.
Right? It's man cave. Now, women, with all this equality stuff, women have their she sheds and whatever. They're finding their own space. That's just their space for their hobby. But, if I was a fix-it guy or if I was a whatever, if I had a hobby and I just want to spend all my time in the garage, working on fishing lines or crafting some shit, that's, that's my space. There want no damn kids up in here. What the fuck?
The main thing is just don't minimize a man's passion. Because on the other end, you girls, the first thing y'all say is men are oppressing y'all. Men are taking things from you. Men are taking, but at the same time that you feel that way, you go ahead and you turn around and you minimize your man and the things that he's feeling passionate about. Then how can you? I mean, some of y'all spoiled, just flat out spoiled. But it's just be mindful.
But
that's really it.
Now, we ain't talking, ladies, if you don't do this kind of stuff, then we ain't talking to or about you. It may be some things on the list like, damn, you know what, I've done that. And maybe I need to rethink that as I move forward looking for a relationship or even being in a relationship. Because all this stuff is advisory, like, yo, it's probably not the best behavior pattern for you to do these things. What was that? Oh, so let me get back to the list. All right. Oh, come on. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Just give me a second here. Okay, we got the. Oh, wow. Yes, ladies. Please, never, if you're in a relationship, never tell your man he needs to man up.
Like, what kind of shit is that?
I couldn't imagine my girl saying, you need to man up. What?
Man, that's some disrespectful ass shit. A girl saying some shit like that is just like, yo, I don't, like in any situation, there's no man ever told a woman to woman up. Like, what kind of shit is that? Like, I've never heard of people, like, if you were a better
you know
woman,
what?
you know, all right.
We are doing that now, believe it or not. That is the thing now. And I'm only saying it's a thing now because, you know, Kevin Samuels, thanks to content creators like Kevin Samuels, men are saying, hey, women, y'all need to be in your feminine. You're way too far into this masculine territory. We need you in your feminine. That wasn't happening before a couple years ago. Before Kevin Samuels came around, those conversations, that wasn't even a part of any conversation. That wasn't even part of a thought pattern for men. Men weren't even concerned that their woman was or was not in their feminine. You know, it's mentally speaking. But I just have to put that out there. I think we are doing that now.
You know what? I think that type of show where we're pitting our logic against, feel things that, like, girls are like, well, I want to feel like I'm being better taken care of by my man. The way the conversation is being framed is women are going, men are not as noble and as chivalrous as they once were. Men could be better to us. That men could be better to us in these regards. That, men need to be more career oriented. Men need to be, women are often projecting the men that they've had, and they've wanted them to be more prestigious men, and they're projecting that prestige that they want on their man, the man of their choice, onto all men in a generalization. And men, like on Fresh and Fit, like Kevin Samuels, are going, hey, don't you sit here and devalue the little guy, the guy who's taking your garbage, the guy who's cleaning your car, the guy who's doing these maybe not as fancy jobs as the doctors and the superstars out there. And then what you have is you got the guys going, well, logically, we don't have to do these things for you. Logically, I don't have to help you. Like, if I really think about it, if I take my dick out of the equation, not trying to sleep with you, I don't have a use for you. Well, I could go and buy, I have enough money, I can save my money and buy a housekeeper. I can go to an advisor and go pay somebody to give me financial advice. If I feel down or something like that, I can go and pick up a therapist. Like, when you start to break down all the things that these girls say on a superficial level, you say,
well, here's the thing, though. Those girls don't offer that junk. The girls, that's the thing. So when you're talking about what these young girls offer, they don't offer that much at all, because a lot of them don't have depth, and a lot of them weren't raised to offer those things or be a support or be a help for men. It's, I just want to get paid, fam. Like, I just want to be taken care of. I just want this, I want that. And that's cool. I mean, maybe they'll learn something different eventually, but where a lot of these young girls, the ones that the shows that you mentioned talk about or talk to, it's a whole lot of that ish. Hold on, Liberty says something. She said, Chris, I would ask, is it a bad thing that I used to bring my ex lunch or a snack while he was playing the game? Is that crossing the line? No. No. If you want to bring your man a snack or whatever, like, and you know what? Okay, so because I'm
Was
gonna
he
just say
hungry? Was he
before we
hungry?
get
You asked
to,
for it.
but before we get to, anybody jumping in and say, y'all just want servants, y'all just want this, y'all just want, look, it's nice things like that. The consideration of, hey, maybe I should bring them a snack, or maybe I should, bring them a little, or do just because it isn't about servitude. It's about like, yo, maybe I should just do something nice for this dude, and like
Yeah,
those little nice things. It's less about like women. There are women out here who might hear this be like, y'all, it's all about. I ain't serving no man. This, and this. Well, I mean, you're obviously whatever. But it's about doing something nice. Like men really record when women do super nice things because frankly, women ain't busting down the doors to do nice, thoughtful things for us. That's not our
yeah.
experience. Like with women, you get men. Hey, I did this special thing for you. Because he's trying to court you. He like you, or he just want to fuck you. Whatever. But like that happens. But for us, it is really special when a girl like actually thinks about us. It's like, yo, dang, that's what's up. Yo, she a real one. Like,
Those things are
hey,
touching. You know, you got a girl
absolutely.
that looks at what you like and makes the investment into those things. You go, damn, this girl, she's really thoughtful. Now, if it's coming from a good place, that's one thing. But when it's like now, if the girl to the girl's question, she was like, "Is it cool that I would get him lunch while he eating, like while he playing the game?" It's like, yes, and let's make sure that we understand. Like, when you give him the snack, are you just being like, here's your sandwich, here's your soda, it's right here for you, or are you going, hey, stop the game right now, you got to eat this food I just made you, or you trying to put it in his hands? Here, pause the game and take it from me at least. Like now, you know what I'm saying? Because now you're trying to say, hey, I did something nice to you, but I'm also being a terrorist at the same time. Like, because I really want your attention, and I'm trying to give you an olive branch, but at the same time, it's not really an olive branch. I'm trying to do something to take your attention away from what you're already doing, and that when we can see that creates an argument. Like that will start an
Mm.
argument. That will start a. Now I wish you hadn't made me the sandwich at all, because now you are inconveniencing me with your goodwill. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, yeah, I would say, is it really goodwill if there's ulterior motives? But
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
I think also a piece of the puzzle, and well, I'm sorry, let me get back to that damn list to make sure that I forgot where we were at on that. Whatever, give me a second, because I took my phone off of it because I was trying to keep track of my phone. Um, oh yeah, oh wow, we went all the way over here with told to man up. But yeah, hey, look, at the end of the day, just doing something nice for your partner is a good thing. So, you know, just do it without expectation. Hey, I'm just, all right, I'm doing this because, for me or for us, it's, hey, you know what? Why don't I take her out over here and do something nice for her? Why don't I buy her this, or why don't I get
Yeah.
a thoughtful gift, or why don't I know she likes it when I do this, so how's about I just do it? It's typically not something that I do, but I feel like doing something nice for her, so why don't I, dress up and do this? Like like just doing something nice to your partner is always a good thing.
The
So just
beautiful
being
thing
in
about
that
being a man is
space.
most men, when they do things, is usually from a joyful place. And when a man puts his passion, it always starts from lust. So a man, the thing that fires him up to even mention the girl is not, hey, I think she'd be a good friend. You go, damn, she look good. Man, she looks great to me. I want to say something to her. And then
Well,
from
yeah.
there on, the relationship starts. So as long as girls understand, like, don't minimize us by telling us to man up at any time, because that's like, what do you mean? That's like, tough up, be a tougher guy. Like, okay, say,
Well,
give me,
yeah.
like, be more constructive. All right,
Well, a
you
lot
know
of
what I
the
mean?
time,
Like,
the man up, that version of a man that they're pushing you to be, is really a highly toxic version of a man as well. So it is like,
I mean,
well, man up. Okay, well, you want me to be this toxic, aggro, hyper masculine, angry? Like you want all of this stuff? Okay. It just goes to sometimes that toxic masculinity is perpetuated by women in certain cases, and some men are kind of egged on into it, where it's like, if you don't do this, you don't get your validation as a man because you're not manning up in the way that I say you should. God damn, fucking. Somebody's outside my door with their fucking kids. That's the only bad thing about this new building I moved into. I slightly downgraded my apartment building to save a little money, because I'm just like, why am I spending over $2,000 a month for rent? Like, that's dumb. I can find a perfectly decent spot for, $600-700 less. I'm sorry. Jay could dropped a comment. Fuck out of here, gay Tony. But yeah, that whole "you need to man up" thing is definitely whack, lady. So we are gonna switch gears after I read this comment from Jay Could. She says, thoughts on women or men who dislike or get jealous of their partner's hobbies, gym, video games, sports. Seems that a lot of my people have issues not being around their partners 24/7. Yeah, no, definitely. Abandonment issues, attachment issues, because I don't know about you, Jerald, but I know I've definitely heard the stories about men who freak out if they girl leave town without them. Like, they can't handle not being in the same place as their girl. And it's arguments, it's a mess. Like, I know one girl, she went and visited her family. Now this was in the heat of COVID, but she needed to go see her family, back in Puerto Rico or whatever. And this dude, and the thing is, they had been together for a while. I think they were engaged, or I don't know. They weren't married, but they've been together for legit fucking 8 years. And he couldn't handle it. He was freaking out, and he was just losing his shit. And I'm like, yo, dude, you got some, I don't know, it's dependency. It's something going on there. I'm not a fucking psychoanalyst completely, but yeah. It's definitely issues, if you're jealous of what your partner is doing, but then it's also, hey, talk about it, figure out, hey, I'd say, look, a hit dog will holler, and people need to do that shit instead of hold stuff in, because if you feeling some kind of way, then speak the fuck up. And, maybe that man can make an adjustment and say, hey, all right, instead of four hours a day, I'll give 2 hours to video games, and then I'll carve out some more us time, or I'll carve out some more family time for me and you and the kids, or because people make mistakes, people mismanage their time. It's possible to get too much into this stuff, but if you got a problem with it, you got to talk it through.
Yeah. Now, it's we understand there's some ladies out there, they just want want to be the center of attention. It's cool that you want attention. But if you letting your man decompress, let him do that, Because because the framework of the question really is you were saying, wait, explain that again, how you said that again. Where were we?
What, the comments?
I'm sitting here getting into a shoulder lock. I got distracted.
Oh, yeah. Jerald's playing UFC, y'all. We're not playing Grand Theft Auto together.
So I was sitting there getting
Liberty jumped back in. Liberty commented saying, yeah, that is strange, LOL. I don't know if I would like to be around my partner 24/7. That's not healthy. I would like them to have friends. I have friends. Then there is us. I hope that, it does make sense. That's bro. I'm going to just say it.
Yeah.
Ladies, if you jump into a relationship and you ain't got no friends, that can be it can be a stressor, because, frankly, sometimes your man want to hang out with just his boys, and, don't nobody want to be the one who's neglecting or anything like that. So I'm looking at her like, yo, so, you got any girls you can go out with? Who are your friends? That's also part of getting to know somebody. I want to feel like I know you, and, usually you can tell certain things about people through their friends.
Okay, so to that question, okay, so
yeah,
we have, I got a couple I know where their girls are really, really all up over them, really oversharing, lots of cool. Now, I guess that's a personal taste thing. Like, if you want your
Hmm.
girl up under you at all the time, like, why you got to go somewhere without me? What are you doing? Why you got to go have fun without me? It's like, one, it's like you got to allow people to be individual. You're an individual coming in, you know, you're still an individual once you start a relationship. Even if you get
Yeah.
married. Now, the thing is, you like, all right, you got to let that person get enough. You got to give them enough time to miss you. You don't want to become common, because then the things that
Hmm.
make you extraordinary become common, and then you're looking at and you're nitpicking at little things, and then you need time to go away to say, all right, this is what make me love the person I'm with.
Now,
But
y'all, this is coming from a man who is almost 12 years married.
yeah,
Almost 12 years. Y'all, well, you like a week away from it? I know it's July. Or did you
yeah,
already hit
yeah,
the
yeah,
12? What's the date?
yeah. The 16th.
Okay, yeah. I'm just,
Yeah,
look, when a man says, hey, when you married, it's like this, this, and a lot first thing people want to point, well, you ain't married. Like, no, this man has credibility. He's been in a marriage 12 years. He knows what
yeah.
he's. If he wants to dip into that side of the conversation, he is more than qualified to. So, and
I've heard
he's
it.
been with the same girl. I mean, you started dating Lisa. Um, or you started dating your wife. I guess name drop, but there's plenty of Lisas in the world. But what is it? Almost 20 years, man. Y'all been together
Yeah, man. I've
almost
been.
20 years.
Yeah, 2003. Yeah, I've been with my lady that long, and yeah, man, it's one of those things where you learn a lot. We definitely had some growing pains, things that could have cost other people their relationship. We've managed to weather through. There's been a little
Mm.
bit of forgiveness, but what's always saved us, never malicious towards each other. We are never trying to
Mm.
find ways to, like, if she hurt me, I would tell her that she hurt me, and she would try to bet her best to rectify that situation. And she would never put me in a situation where she could hurt me that bad. And I would never allow her to be putting me in situations that bad.
Hmm.
Like, so examples like, we have money between each other. We the first thing that kind of let me know that we were serious about each other. She co-signed on my first car from the car I got from my mom, which was like, I had a Saturn, and that thing was a piece of junk. I replaced three engines in it,
Man, I remember
and
that Saturn. You was out there doing like what 100 on the highway in that thing, man.
that was the Cadillac. Goldie was rolling, man.
Shit.
And I just couldn't keep it working. I was not in a place where I could be a car guy. To all the fellas out there, if you're doing anything with the hobbies and cars, just be prepared to have lots of money thrown at things. If you ain't got
Hmm.
money, don't be playing around in cars. But I digress. What I was getting to is, when I needed to go ahead and give me another car because it finally got towed in the parking lot, it lapsed on my parking pass at the place. There's just a predator place for children in college, and
Yeah.
they took my car, and it was already, the engine was blown, and I had just bad situation. I get to this situation, and the girl, she says, I'm going to co-sign on you. Standing on it, fellas. Stand on it. If your girl help you get a loan to pay for a car, one, don't tear up the car till it's paid off. Two,
Huh.
pay your part on it. I mean, yeah, there's all this pretender pimping stuff going out here where you just try to make servants out of the people that you're with. And that's so played out, and it's self-destructive, really. She's
Hmm.
helping you to do something. You reciprocate that by standing on what your word as a man. That, because a man is the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You want to try to honor your obligations. Don't try to snake out of them, none of that stuff. And if you honest as a man, your woman will always be a woman to you when you need her to be. That's
Hmm.
for sure, because when you got uh situations, this girl's going to want to depend on you. And if you are not dependable, that's where you get those questions. Like when a girl is like, well, you're not strong enough to do that, and she doubting you. and then you show her, and she's like, "Ooh, okay. Well, now it's your chance to show that you are strong enough to." But there's other times where you go, "Oh, wow, you don't have faith in me, you don't trust me. I'm your man." They're like, "Why? You depend on me to protect you, or at least for this time period where we're being with each other. You trust me. You
Oh
trusting
my
your
God.
body to
Come on.
me and my
Come on.
care. You know what I mean?" Like, so it's one of those things where you go, you gotta stand on your obligations, and those other things will work themselves out better. You know.
For sure. For sure. So, yeah, y'all just got a little primer right there. So, well, I'm trying to, let me get back to that video. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Stop. Give me a second to load up because, I gotta check. All right, so we went through why can't you be like my ex? You're not that strong. It's just a game. You need to man up. Oh, this one kind of goes with that first one a little bit. Um, where it's like, when you say like my ex used to do X, Y, and Z. Well, my ex used to do this. Why can't you do that? Well, my ex used to. Like it's just no. Don't do it, ladies. I promise you, it will not be received well at all. When my ex used to be able to afford to take me over here, my ex used to give me this or give me that. You know, especially when it comes to like men and what they can and can't afford. It's like, yo, what I got is what I got, and what you got with your ex is what you got with him. But you know. I'm not even. That conversation can go into so many nasty directions because obviously, it's one of those situations where not like I said before, not every relationship is ended by the woman, or not every relationship even happens, and it's just like yeah, well my ex could do this, this, and this, or he could do that, 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 and it's like yeah, but that guy didn't put a ring on it, or like.
Like,
I don't
there's a
know.
reason why he's not here no more.
Yeah,
Whatever.
essentially. I'm sorry. I don't want to get nasty on this, y'all. But I'm saying, like, ladies, like, it's just like comparing and referring to the ex in terms of what your man is not doing. No bueno. No bueno. That's not going to end well at all. Just don't do it. We beg of you. All men beg of you. Just don't do that. These are just things you should absolutely avoid doing.
Yeah.
Um,
Like fellas and girls, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't put other people's attributes onto people because they are who they are. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hmm
I got girls that were wild women. I had girls that had more money. I had girls that were willing to show more skin. All these things, and it's like that all has to die in the face of this is who I'm with. How do I make this relationship work, or what are the
hmm
things that are preventing this relationship from working? Not, oh, well, this is what I liked in this last relationship. I want you to do it too. Like, if that's the
I
case,
just,
then do them
yeah.
for yourself and be
hmm
honorable. Like, be genuine about doing those things for yourself or setting those things up to happen, but don't attribute them to the person you're with because your person is who they are. That's what make that other person unique, and those things you can carry on, and
hmm
maybe you can give those things to your partner. But when that's over, you got to just focus on who you with. Once you start looking to the outside of shit to do things, I ain't gonna lie. Like, if you want to look at porno and try out some different moves and shit, that's one thing. you know,
yeah.
these
Yes, that
you
shit.
you get it. You get inspired by your friends going to Vegas and they go out and they go do something. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take you to Vegas. Okay, that's righteous. That's a genuine. Well, that's me and my partner going. Not, oh, well, we got to go to the exact same place. They went to the Eiffel Tower, the replica there, and they took this picture the same way. Like, no, we don't have to be other people. You have to be
Yeah.
individual. You still have to be yourself. But just look at the person you're with and just be there for your person. And you'll notice that your relationships will definitely turn around, you know?
You know what, bro? My speaking of Vegas, my girl has never been to Vegas. Um, so
Really?
I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna have to do Vegas. So okay, she has a friend, and I'll just say like, my girl and her friend, they lived in young wild days, dealing with niggas with all sorts of money and other things. And one of her friends, one of her running buddies, is like, "Oh yeah, don't go to Vegas. It's just full of poor white trash. This, and this."
What?
Like, yeah, she was really like downplaying like Vegas, like, yo, it's just trashy as fuck. You don't want to be over there. Don't go there. It's ain't nothing special about it. I'm like, wait, what? This is how this woman described Vegas. Mind you, this woman is like now in her, early part of her 50s. But it was really something else, like, because so she didn't give this explanation to her recently, but I mean, anytime in the last 30 years, 40 years, like, Vegas was that place to go to if you want to go. I mean, it is a good place to visit and go and check out, lots of tourism and all that kind of shit. But yeah, I just had to throw that out because I'm like, man, I got to I'm actually taking her, we're going to New Orleans for the first time. She ain't never been there either, so we gonna check out that Noia.
Hey, that's what's up, man. Like, that's
But
one
obviously we
place
ain't
I
going to
haven't
the
been. I
Noia
haven't
because we
been to
ain't
the
going
Big
to.
Easy yet.
Oh man, it's great. It's a poor man's Vegas. It's cheap. Bourbon Street is a great time. It's partying. It's live. It's all that shit, bro. So I would definitely, if you want to go on an inexpensive trip that exposes you to a lot of culture. Sorry, I'm ordering my bike. If you want to get a lot of culture, a lot of good food, and have the whole experience cheap, where the hotel prices aren't off the charts, New Orleans is the place for you for sure. Absolutely is the place.
That's awesome. That's good to know.
Would
That's
highly recommend that shit for sure, bro. What the fuck is this? I don't know if I'm trying. This has to be my bike, but why will my bike be here? This is weird. Whatever. Anywho, so I'm sorry. We'll jump back to the list. We only got it's only like one or two more things in there, but this next one is it's just a question that, ladies, we don't probably like. I know we know you do it. We may know that question is going to come at some point in time, but it would just be better if you never asked us, "Am I fat? Am I fat? Do I look fat in this dress?" You will not get honesty. You will get a man that will, hey, you just don't want to, essentially, if you're not willing to deal with honest, transparent conversation, then don't ask any questions like that at all, because you're not going to get a real answer out of your man if he doesn't know he can be transparent with you. If he can be like, hey, you know what? Yeah, okay, but you know what? That other dress will look better. Why don't you wear that? Why don't you wear this? He could. It isn't like, yeah, you're fat and I'm walking away and you're disgusting. It's just like, there are conversations that could be had, that need to be had, and that goes for men too. Everybody, especially with the food that's available to us nowadays, with the way everyone eats, people gain weight, people blow up, people get comfortable in relationships. I know I gained at least 20 during the first the first 4 months of my relationship, because she was cooking so fucking good. I mean, French toast every morning, French toast, eggs, bacon, or French toast, potatoes, bacon, and maybe even eggs too. Like, the whole thing. I get whatever. I get full big ass meals all the time. The eating was just too good. You could taste the love in every bite. Cause my girl's like old school like that. She wanted them. She cooks with love, but them the kind of women you want in the kitchen, anyways.
Yeah.
Cause your taste buds are gonna.
Girl is gonna nourish you. You gotta love that.
But with the kind of food that makes your soul sing. Like, my soul would sing when I ate her food. Like, that's that kind of, man, that shit was so good. It is good. I'm not, it ain't no was, ain't never gonna be no was. I'm not letting this one go. So, and try as she might, she ain't going nowhere. No, it's funny. I'm not doing the OJ.
Don't make the cake anyway.
Yeah, right. Nah, but I'm gonna do everything I can not to, fuck this up. So, but yeah, man. So I'm sorry, bro. I was just fucking getting all off the fucking list here. Oh no, we did do that next one. Yeah, am I fat thing? Please don't ask us that. Please don't ask me, am I fat?
Yeah,
unless
yeah. We
you
just
want
don't
to
want
have a,
to. We don't
yeah.
want to. Most men don't want to tell you bad news, man. Most
Well,
dudes don't.
that goes to us, like, that goes to women have been lied to most of their lives. Men lie to women all the fucking time. We never tell them the truth ever. Because if we do tell them the truth, then we don't get pussy. And if we don't get pussy, then what's the point of living?
Right.
So if me not telling you the truth or gassing you up means, who the hell shooting me?
Instead of saying, "Does this make me look
Bitch.
fat?" just say, "Does this make me look good?"
I don't know what the solution is. All I'm saying is either you put out an air that, hey, we can have an honest conversation and you can share, you can speak with me honestly without me, being ready to barbecue your ass. Cool.
Yeah. With that, man, you just got to tell the ladies, like with ladies out there, when you ask your man stuff like that, you pretty much telling him to tell you bad news, and you already don't want you want him to tell you. You don't have to. You could have tell me, like, if you're fishing for compliments, then don't do it that way. Don't go about it that way. Don't
Mm-mm.
demerit yourself to try to get the positive reinforcement to whatever you're trying to do. And if you feel like the dress looks fat on you, you probably look fat then. Like, if you got to question it, girls, then don't make us have to tell you the bad news. Don't do us like that. Most men don't want to tell you bad news. You're our girl. We want to see you shining. We want to see you look your best. Be your best looking. If you notice the shirt is too small or whatever, buy another size, man. I know that's the
Oh,
that's the
geez.
dude answer, man. It's like, what can you say? What can you say?
I mean, as a man, I'm just like, yo, if this is the problem, what I'm saying is let's figure something out. You know, because I'm the kind of dude where I'll go on a diet with my girl. So hey, oh, okay, babe. Well, we got to get this together. All right, cool. Well, you know what? I'm gonna get on the diet with you. I'll lose the weight with you because hey, we could all use a couple pounds shaving off or melted off. But man, let's get to this last one because this last one is definitely something else.
Okay.
So the last one is it's what was it? Oh, ooh. Now this one is just savage as fuck. If you're a girl and you said this shit, you's a savage motherfucker. Don't tell your man that condom doesn't fit you.
Oh.
Why you wearing that? That don't fit you. Don't do that, y'all. Don't do that to the man. Like, come on now.
All I would say to that, man, is there's only, like, most of them condoms is one size fits all. They roll up far. Now, I will say some have better latex than others and stuff like that. But don't demerit your man by don't put him in the last thing you want is a man sitting there because most men do not negatively comment on women unless they've been offended. Until you say something, do something to where you insulted us and now we got to insult you back. Like, don't make provisions to have your man say some shit to you that's gonna hurt you. Because we understand, we men, we got armor that come with us. We gotta. There's once upon a time when we had to fight and go kill a mastodon. There's some of us are still out there killing the food we eat today.
Yeah,
And
it's just
so
yeah,
we can handle that a little bit, but the last
yeah.
thing you want to do is talk about a man's package. That's the main thing about him. That's the middle of
The
him.
male ego can be fragile though. Like it can be fragile. Men can be sensitive about that. And if a man don't no man want to be made to feel like, he's a joke or I don't know. Just don't nobody want to be made to feel any kind of way over something that they can't change. I think that's why it kind of hits so hard for so many different men is something that you were born with that you can't change is like literally tied to how worthy you are of a man or a partner to some women, because obviously there are plenty of other ones that view things a little bit differently. But there are some people, and I'll be real, there are some, high profile, highly sexualized women who are like, yo, hey, I don't fuck with a man unless he got a 10 or 12 inch, or unless he's this big, or unless he's that big. And it's like, a lot of times, your worth as a man comes down to something that you can't change, even with surgery. Like with a woman, it's like, yo, you ain't got no ass, you ain't got no titties, or something's off with your face, whatever. All that shit can be fixed. There's surgeries for all of that shit. Now, your face, that's going to be a lot harder, but, this girl's still out there getting their lips done. What Kylie Jenner started out as and what she is now, night and day. Night and fucking day. Same with Khloe Kardashian. They all went through a metamorphosis under the knife. But, to change how they were perceived by certain men who were looking for X, Y, and Z. But, never, don't, a lot of these things, a couple of these things we talked about in this list of things that women shouldn't say to their man. A lot of it just had to do with just saying these things like emasculate your man in a sense. And it's just like, it's just saying things that would, men can be sensitive. We can be sensitive about certain subjects. And I don't want to be, I just want to be truthful about that. But yeah, saying, hey, come on now. Like if your man want to wear the Magnum, don't say shit. Don't laugh. Don't snicker. Don't whatever. Just, okay. If you want to wear the Magnum and that's just where he feel like he fit at, then let it be. Cause the moment you fuck with him on that one, you fucking with his self-confidence, you fucking with a whole host of other things that, it's just a big old ball of wax when you was probably just like, what, nigga, you don't fit it. Like, get something that fits you. and it makes sense, but it's the same. It's not exactly the same, but it's like the closest comparison I could draw goes back to the, in my fat thing. It's like, yeah, if somebody was dry about that and didn't care about how you felt and how they said stuff, yeah, they could be like, what do you mean? Girl, you don't fit the dress. Like, get something else. What the fuck? You're fat. Like, what's wrong?
It's just really,
you can't do that.
Just use, restraint, I guess. Restraint ain't really the right word. What's the right word for that?
No, it's just about giving a fuck.
About saying that are unpleasant to people. But, when it's that shit for all that, just get them the right one.
Well, now this ain't just people, though. This ain't just people. This is your partner, your man, your husband. This is the person that you love, the person you've chosen. So, it's even more egregious if you don't take that care with somebody that, you're allegedly supposed to be there for in that way.
Yeah.
Because we're not talking about, don't say this to men who are strangers. This is your man. Like I think, that's the caveat with a lot of this. Because, when people hear these things, they're like, well, fuck men, I don't need to do this. I'm like, okay, fine, fuck men. But we're talking about your man, the person that has your heart and you have his.
Right.
Like, consideration. Yeah, exactly.
Trying to love each other, So be good to the person you love,
For sure. So, man, that covers that list, bro. I don't know. I still got some more missions to run if you want to keep on streaming. I don't know how long we've been streaming.
Man, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe an hour, maybe half an hour.
Nah, it ain't been no hour, bro. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Okay, it has been an hour. So, you were right. Just give me a second. I got to just grab something to drink real quick.
Okay.
Brief intermission, people. Just give me a couple seconds.
All right. And in this time, I'm going to just go ahead and rap for y'all. Yeah, it's your boy J-Dub. Yeah, I be rapping in all the clubs, spinning all the records, making all the hits, looking at all the girls. Man, I don't want to talk too much shit on here. And hopefully y'all cool out there. I can't see none of his stream stuff. I am
all right.
Talking in the dark.
Got my protein.
I was sitting
Man,
here,
I'll
your
be.
shoe shining while you were away.
Oh.
Say
So, hey,
peace.
for those of y'all that are watching that's normally, listening to like the Men Like Us channel and all that stuff, because this is where I'm streaming this on the Men Like Us YouTube page. Yeah, this is my main man's Jerald. He is not my main man Jerald is not trans attracted or anything like that. This is my main man from way back. We were roommates in the dorms together, and the friendship never ended. So,
That's the homie.
but we just sitting here talking about life but this is, this, bro, I'm putting this on that other podcast too. I have this other parallel podcast that's all about just men talking and just sharing our point of view on certain things. But that content creator that we just went through his list, I saw another video from this dude. And if y'all ladies, if you need a relationship guy to listen to, this dude he's really good. He gives good advice, but he's very even keeled and level headed, and it can be some tough, some bitter medicine to swallow for men and women. He has different videos where he's talking to each gender separately, but I will say it is not Kevin Samuels esque in the way of his delivery. His delivery is packaged a lot nicer, will be a lot easier for y'all to digest. So, his name is Stephen Speaks, and he's Stephen Speaks he's really good. So, one of the things that he was talking about though, this video was funny because it was a video that he was doing with this woman, and he was just like, he was trying to help women understand how men see sex. And, one of the things that he was talking about on there was like, look, and I'm like, damn, I say, okay, he giving up all the game right now. He was essentially getting to the heart of the issue or of his point was, which, I obviously co-sign on. He was saying that, okay, women, what makes men want to fuck a woman usually isn't that deep. But, essentially he was just getting to the point of, look, sometimes like men will fuck, men will fuck a woman that they don't even like. Like we'll fuck a woman that we don't like. We'll fuck a woman that we're not even attracted to. And like us fucking a woman it's not this big built up, like I love you and all these other things. It's just like, that's just not what it is for a lot of men out there. And when he was telling this woman that like these truths of like, wait, yeah, no, we will fuck a woman we don't even like. We will fuck a woman that we're not even completely attracted to. And this woman, I could just see it, like it was like her mind was exploding. And I pictured all the women on the internet watching this dude like share these truths about how men see sex, and just like their minds exploded because it doesn't compute. Because for quite a few women, at least a lot of the ones that I've dealt with or know, it usually takes a lot more. They want somebody that they can connect with to have sex with, and there's got to be a vibe and all these other things. And dudes is like, all right, well, we just gonna fuck, right? Okay, like okay, maybe I felt a little something while we were fucking, but that moment is past, and I don't feel that anymore. Like it's not I know it sounds super cold blooded, but it's just like a reality of the situation where it's just like, yeah, it's a truth, guys. Ladies, guys will have sex with women that they don't even like.
Man,
And I have to
I
be
ain't gonna
honest,
lie.
I've had sex with a woman. I can attest that I have had sex with one, maybe two partners who I wasn't completely 110% attracted to, and I ain't even gonna lie. This is, now this is back in the Whitewater days, bro. But I remember I had a girl come, got drunk. Well, wow, binge drinking, and being young will definitely lead you to have sex with somebody that you're not 100% attracted to. So,
Yeah, beer
have I?
bellies and mud.
Yes, have I snuck a girl out the frat house who I didn't want nobody else in the frat house seeing I was with? Yeah, I did that. I did it. It happened. I don't know what was
Man,
going
man.
on with me in that moment where it was like, yo, why are you doing this, bro? Like, I don't remember, but yeah, that shit do happen. It's fucked up. I know, ladies, you think it's disgusting and it's all these things, but guys do that shit.
I mean, I've met women that, are willing to be reckless with it too, like that. The way I say is, man, when the love below call, man, you'll find yourself in some serious situations. When you're lonely, or you just looking for that companionship, or you looking for that intimacy with somebody, or sometimes you just need a fuck. What's wrong with fucking? It's not
Man,
illegal. I
I
mean,
will
there's a
say
lot of
this
consequences
much.
behind it now, but
You will, now this is something that I talked with some other guys. And I'm talking, and when I'm saying talking with some other guys, they're like other men who are old enough to be my dad, like men in their 60s. And it's like, yo, they're even like, yeah, man, I have to take care of myself because if I don't take care of myself, I might make a mistake and let somebody who ain't worthy in my space to take care of me.
man,
Like to keep themselves from making mistakes, they gotta. It's kind of like the vampirism, where it's like you have the hunger. You got to satiate the hunger, or else you about to run out and get yourself fucked up in these streets because
man,
it's
it's
been
one
so
of the things with
long.
what happens is you just you find yourself. I mean, there's nothing wrong because like at one point you got to learn yourself. You got to learn what you like. Sometimes it's a matter of just finding somebody that you just gotta. It's a superficial connection with. You know that she's not serious. You're not serious necessarily. Y'all just need each other's warmth.
Yeah. Look, one
And
night stands are a thing, bro. They are.
yeah. It's not to go, hey, this makes me a bigger man from doing it. It's like, no, it's like
No,
I'm
no.
lonely. I got a Jones, and
Yo,
this
you know
person is
what?
willing to be with me to fix it.
Speaking of that loneliness thing, dude, I saw. Actually, I've seen it reported a few places now. I've seen some different studies and some different content creators. I've seen a few people talk about this. They talk about how many like because of whatever the fuck is happening with the dating market thanks to the internet and other shit. There's more men. Like men are having less sex than ever.
Mm. And that's
And
crazy to me because
yeah,
there's so much. It seems like it's exposed to like with the Tinder and the swipe left, swipe right, hook up
but
night
that's the
type of
thing
thing.
though. Oh fuck, I need a car. But that's the thing though with that shit though, bro. Oh, wait, let me not get shot. But with that shit, dude, it's like on those things, and they have they've done these little surveys or whatever. But on Tinder, women are way more exclusive than they would be in real life. So
Mm,
like they were doing they said like women found only like 15% of men on Tinder attractive. Like
mm,
so 15% of their swipes are swiping right.
mm,
Like they get very exclusive on Tinder, and on the other end of it, men don't give a fuck. So women are over, they're bombarded by, what the fuck
yeah,
happened?
yeah.
Where's my vehicle? Did it blow up? Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. My vehicle just
Mhm.
disappeared out of nowhere on me. I'm just like, what the fuck? Anywho, but yeah, it's just it's there. We're coming into an age where men are having less sex, and that because of the way the internet is set up, there's essentially a large majority of the men. Now, a large majority of men are getting no action, and there's a minority of men that are having sex with a majority of the women, and it just turns into one of those situations where okay, guy X is like we talked about with the blue collar guy. Let's just say a guy's the guy working at fucking CVS or the guy working at the post office. He ain't gonna get no play compared to the baller with the other dudes who can fly women out and all that kind of shit. Like it is a thing, man. It definitely is a thing where it's just more men are being essentially priced out the market when it comes to women. and
Well, Cardi B, they
they don't
put
have
her in
any
the song.
opportunities.
Broke boys,
Yeah,
broke boys don't deserve no coochie, you
I
know.
mean that it's I mean really it's a whole lot of that kind of bullshit, which is weird to me because I'm like, why do grown adults believe it? Why do grown adults believe in this shit? And furthermore, why do they, make actual like real life decisions based on it? Like trying to what? I wouldn't listen to Cardi B's fucking lyric. I wouldn't listen to Juvenile or whoever the fuck else either. Like it's all fun and games. Like yeah, we're having fun listening to Lil Jon, but that shit ain't for real. Lil
Well,
Jon
I
is
mean,
not
some of
the
that stuff is in
fucking.
fantasy, but really though, like when you think about it on his face, when you look at a girl, when she gives you her body, there's a chance that you might have to take care of what gets planted, right? So you go, I need to be able to be on my square. And when you see most women, they go, okay, yes, he's attractive. Yes, he has things that I think are successful traits. Like, oh, he got a go-getter spirit. Now, he may be fucked up or he might not be educated because I might not be educated. But there's something about him that I think that we could work out. Maybe it's just strong genes, Somebody might just want a Spartacus chin, motherfucker. I don't know.
Well,
But
there is that. I know girls that like all they do is fuck with all they do is fuck with athletes. Like that's their entire fucking lane. And like they all kind of hang out together, they all just fuck all these pro athlete niggas, and got having their babies and stuff. And
that's their preference.
oh yeah, they do. They definitely have that, and it's really like a tribe, from what I've seen. But it was just interesting that he was talking about that. But it is also interesting that this new phenomenon of, there are so many men who in previous days would have access to women. But because they're not a part of that, six-figure club, baller club, they can't, they can't spend, they can't do all these things. They're essentially priced out of the dating market, leaving, a growing population of lonely, and then, ultimately, men who I'm sorry, more fodder to be turned into incels. Like this whole incel movement thing, it's always been a thing. But I feel like it's gaining steam, and I feel like there's just more people who are susceptible to being drawn in by a lot of that red pill stuff in a very toxic and dangerous way, where it leads them to actually not like women and these men are resentful, they're angry, But it's I don't know, man. It's really fascinating to see and hear about how few men are actually having sex. And it's really something else, man, because obviously that was not always the case, but it is now.
Well, it's tough, man, because you got male thing, the things that men on their book. First, women have a fantasized version of what they think. They all think that they're supposed to get a Prince Charming, where he's handsome as fuck, whether he's dark skinned, light skinned, he needs to be a Greek guy, body guy, or something like this, and then he's got a. But it's like these guys are unavailable to most people anyway, just people in general, And then you got these girls who feel they look at themselves, they get sweated by the few guys that went to high school with them. They put their titties out in a shirt and they feel special. And there's some of that entitlement, but you go, when you're online, you don't want to be feeling like you're just giving your shit away. There's something to, it's something to like for women. I understand where they like, look, I got to be more exclusive on this thing because I'm
Hmm.
really trying to find what I'm looking. I'm trying to be finding exactly who I want. If I'm on here and I get to mail order something, I wanted it to be exactly what it is gonna be.
Well,
On the
it's
other hand,
all that glitters ain't gold, and that's just a life lesson that people got to learn.
no
Like,
doubt.
okay, so this man is this baller, but guess what? And that's what I liked about Kevin Samuels was like, hey, this man, yes, this man has all this money. Yes, this man can do all these things. But guess what comes with a man in that position? Rarely monogamy.
I mean,
Rarely
even
someone
if
who
you get
actually
the,
believes in it.
it's just
These.
you got to be willing to deal with your partner being away.
Well, I mean, being away, working, and all that stuff, but a lot of those dudes, and I understand it. If you're a man and you're flush with money and opportunity and options, are you really going to want to just never fuck another girl ever again and just be loyal to just one girl? Especially if you're young, like, some more of the entertainment guys, because really, Kevin doesn't really talk about the entertainment guys because he doesn't really count them as, the rich.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not in the same class, because a lot of times he talks about the businessmen, the people. I mean, and it is more common for, a man to get himself over six figures by being a businessman than playing sports. Like, bro, if you really think about it, there's only there's I just heard the figures because I was listening to a podcast earlier today. Only about 5,000 men have ever played for an NBA team ever. 5,000 men, period. You know how many people were born and died during all that time? And we're talking about just NBA pro players, period. 5,000 men. That's nothing. That's so insignificantly small, which, when women are like, I want a pro player, I want somebody like, they're like, yo, you know how few of those dudes there actually are? And then the girls that have a chance to be in the presence of those men, you're like, you know how rare your experience is? Like, this shit is not common at all. It is not common. So it's just crazy. It's just the world that we're in. But the world that we're in now, what we're talking about with, the reason like men have less access to women because, that bad bitch in your neighborhood that you used to have access to literally 30 years ago, you no longer have access to that girl because some rich guy in fucking LA hit her in the ground, and now she's not even looking at men in Milwaukee. She's out in fucking LA now. Like, all the pretty girls, all the whatever girls, like the girls that you would normally have access to. And those girls would be looking to men in their space, but their space, they say, the dating market has been globalized. So it's not just, it isn't just the people in your area or people in your city or whatever. It's everybody, everywhere. And I think that's what's fucking it up. Because now you got all the fucking douchebags from, like Miami being like, hey, come down here. We're going to show you a good time. We're going to party with you. Now the girl is set to that and she's chasing that. And, the dude who's earning an average wage at $50,000 a year has no chance. Because he can't afford, at 50 grand, you can't afford that shit. At 50 grand, your woman's going to have to work. At $50,000 a year, you cannot support you and another human being in this country. It's just not possible. If you do, it's going to be some really hard times. That's for damn sure. Like, it is not going to be, y'all ain't traveling nowhere. You ain't doing nothing. But that's the average dude. And that's why Kevin got his panties in a bunch so much, because he was like, yo, why the fuck are y'all saying y'all settling for average men? They out here working and doing this. They deserve respect too. Why don't you respect these guys? Why don't you respect the majority of men, not the 2% at the top, the 5% at like, what's going on here? And I mean, I get it. I get it from that perspective.
I would say you gotta admire the super, because that's like the extraordinary men are exactly what they are. They're extraordinary. But not to demerit what's ordinary, because what's in front of you is what's consistent. These guys are your average man. These are the guys in your neighborhood. These are the ones that are working on the cars, that are, doing the quiet work that nobody appreciates, on a day in, day out. Like, yeah, he's not bringing home a full ransom, but that's where a relationship where you both combine your paper together and then y'all build on each other. Okay, you put him through school, he put you through school, and y'all build with each other. Rome wasn't built in a day, and nobody should expect a perfect relationship to be built in a day.
For sure. Well, okay, so that's something else that's fucking up the game, though, man. Because people are putting relationships, marriage, like, okay, people will date young, but it's just dating little foo-foo relationships. Ain't nobody really like, okay, I'm looking for a wife and this is what I want and X, Y, and Z. No, they're fucking just dating some chick just to date somebody for now. But all of that stuff is being held off until later. And what I'm seeing and what I believe is happening is that the woman putting off her marriage search and putting off all these other things until later in life, that just, it makes it that much harder for any man to measure up to her expectations, because now she's looking at it like, yo, like she's looking at it like, yo, why don't I, oh shit, I guess I should order my car already. But I mean, you know, when a girl is young, it's like, oh, well, hey, here's a guy and we're both starting out and we're going to build something together. But now I'm a independent power woman in my late 30s, and let's just say I'm a lawyer. Okay, well, the amount of men that are going to pique your fancy because you're a lawyer is going to be small. And, you know, like it's just like you're starting these things later in life. And I just think it makes it more difficult to find somebody who, quote, measures up or is, quote, on your level, all that stuff. So I really do think it makes it more difficult for people to be impressed or whatever else by them, you know, for women to be impressed by those guys. But I think, you know, I think it's ultimately just not, I don't think it's the best strategy. If I had a son or a daughter, I'd be like, look, you're in your 20s. You need to be working on this now, not get into middle management or become a senior VP and then start looking. You need to do this shit now. Like, I feel like the millennials are regretting the fuck out of putting their careers first, because we're all, not all, but a lot of us are having problems conceiving because, you know, we're getting married after 35. You know, there's a lot more people at fertility clinics and, you know, people who are just older parents like, man, I wish I would have did it younger. Like there's a lot of people who put certain things first. And then, you know, now millennials, we're getting into a space where we're starting to be a little bit regretful that, hey, I focused on all the wrong things, not all the wrong things, but I didn't focus on the right thing in my 20s. You know, like, it's kind of, you remember how when we were coming up, people used to say, oh yeah, hey, it's just your 20s. Like you can do whatever you want to in your 20s. You can fuck that decade off. It don't matter. Like people would really say that shit. Like, yeah, fuck off your 20s. It don't matter. Like, you're young. You have time to get things together and this, and this. It's like, really, you don't have that much time. And if you do fuck off your 20s, you're gonna regret it. You know, those are key years to build.
I would say, the right time is your time. When it happens, it happens. You know, when you just can't get impatient with the process of you trying to find yourself as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, girls and guys, like one fellas, we're giving in to our anxieties, and you know, these girls, you know, we gotta be willing to be a little bit more bold, because these girls, yes, you know, some of them are saying stuff and some things just sound good, but you know, you just gotta, you know, when you look at some of the stuff, I gotta take the chance to say what's up to that girl. That girl, they could be the one. She could be the one, but I don't know until I say something. And to girls, you know, if you had a bad relationship before, you gotta realize that the next person you talking to is not the same person. You know, you got your anxieties. I know this older lady. I think she's beautiful. She's about 5'8", I'd say about 5'9", maybe 5'10". Slender built woman, and she's been single for some time. And beautiful eyes, blonde hair, pretty straight teeth. This is a gorgeous lady. And when I listen to her talk about, like she's gotten into really went into religion now, and she's really gotten into her cats now and shit. Like, she's becoming a cat lady, where, you know, and you know, the person who was her main confidant was her mother, you know, and now the mom's passed and stuff. It's just it's her, and she's, you know, doing things like, I'm going to take this walk, and she's like, there's this guy who I was supposed to be talking to, but I don't, you know, he was talking about he had a little speedboat. I'm not a teeny bopper interested in his speedboat. And it's like she finds nitpicks at things to just
she's a self-sabotager?
Yeah, nitpicking little things here to keep herself from getting to the life that she's always wanted. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, just scared to death. And you just go, well, you got to be bold. You got to be willing to. You got to be willing to say something, do something. You got to be willing to let some good happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it'll never go the way you want it to. You'll never get a chance if you don't try. And then, like, you also can't be trying to date down because you think, oh well, I don't think if you feel above.
But you know what though? What is dating down though? Like, if you believe you're dating down by dating a regular guy, I think you gotta change your expectations because you're like missing out.
It's like this. She was she's a corporate. Well, she was a pencil pusher for
Mm-hmm.
Ace, and she had her things. She had her successes. She's a qualified, certified individual. She's strong-minded. She's got her own opinions. She's willing to philosophize with you. But what I found, like what it felt like, is she would go, "I'm a bleeding heart. I'm going to, I'm reaching into messy situations with people that don't necessarily, they may have the gift of gab and stuff, but like, when she's asked those questions about what it is that they do, and you're like, well, that's not what I necessarily want to be affiliated with. And she's taking a chance at that time, with people that I would say just don't match up to what she wanted her future to be,
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of
all
people,
these comments are coming in.
And it's like when you take a person like that, it's just like don't feel afraid to go talk to the right person. And then when things are happening, or like I used to tell her stuff like, go on a vacation for just you and let something amazing happen. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
Did you go on a trip? Did you take that trip? No, not with your girlfriends, because your girlfriends are going to sabotage whatever you got going on. I got too many people
God.
with me.
Dude, women have no idea what the fuck, like how big of a problem it is that they're with their girls. Like, I was trying to help my girl understand, she's a woman, she don't get it. She only knows shit from the woman's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Piece of shit. Sorry, not my girl, just this fucking asshole from GTA. But no, women really have no fucking clue what it's like from the man's perspective, because it's like, yo, you have, like, do you understand, like, being with a group of with being with a group of women makes it like they just don't know how intimidating that whole experience is for a man, and like how big, like they have no idea, clue.
It's hard to, because we understand, because when you're with your girls, y'all already have the social construct set up to go, well, I'm with my girlfriends and that's who I'm with, and just give me my respect to just have time with just me and my friends. And we're like, well, we like you. We want to meet you. We want to discuss with you. We want to talk to you. We want you to like us. And, but there's half of it where it becomes harassment, and there's the other half where you're like, yo, I see you as somebody I dig, and I just want an opportunity to have my give you a chance to show you that I could be somebody that you could probably get with,
It's really shooting your shot, and then, like, I'll be real. Friday, I went out with my boy Friday. My boy was feeling down. I'm like, hey man, you know what? Let's just go out, like, homie, let's do the damn thing. So we went out, but the thing is, he found this girl, this Latin girl that he was liking, and I was like, cool. But she had a group of friends, and one of the girls was looking at her and like, no, and like, shaking her head, wagging her finger, like, no. It was really like just trying to be a straight up hater about the shit. And as the friend, I had to jump in and be like, okay, now I got to run interference for hateful bitches, because like that's just what happens when you run into groups of women. You trying to get at the one that you like. All the other girls, they're not there to cheer their girl on and be happy for them. They just there to pour salt in the game and like hate. It's just like, dude, it is a whole, like, for a man to go through all the girls and try and take on your whole fucking group. it's tough. It's a very daunting task that most men would just opt out of right away. Like, am I going to go through all these girls just to talk to the one in VIP that I want to talk to, or am I going to go through all these girls just to get to the one that I like? Answer is typically no.
Well,
Typically no.
Well, it depends. When girls got to be willing to isolate and let something good happen to them. But
Yeah.
that's just that's the just getting out there and trying. Getting lucky and just finding, because it's tough. It's just tough to be out there shoving, like forcing those anxieties down. What if she says no? And what if she's a weirdo? All that
I mean,
stuff.
that's the risk. So obviously, if you're risk averse, then this ain't, you probably don't want to do that shit. Like,
yeah, I mean,
dating ain't for
you just
you.
gotta be bold. As a person that's in the in the world, and you just go, all right. When I watch these people trying to find it for with each other, you just got the bold ones win. The guys who aren't afraid to say what they want to say to the girl to try to win the girl. They the ones that come away. They the ones that don't say nothing, don't get nobody. Close mouths don't get fed.
Yes, there is that, but I think a piece to the puzzle is, are you putting out the signs that, hey, you're available to be talked to? Some girls, with the way that they situate themselves, it's like, nah, don't talk to me. I don't want to hear from nobody. I want to deal with nothing. Some people can just be hard and have a hard exterior, and it's just like, yo, are you doing what you need to do to make yourself, seem open for conversation with men? And obviously, I don't think that's the case all the time. And I get, fine, you want to have fun with your girls or whatever else, that's cool. Pay for your own drinks and all that shit. Like, have at it. But, it is, I can speak from experience and just say it is, definitely, there are, just because the friend may not find the guy attractive, now it's smoke. Now it's, oh, well, I'm not going to support this. And if I don't support it, it ain't going to happen. And it's just like, it's just bad, dude. It could be, dealing with girls and their friends, it could be a whole ass issue, dude. Which is why, some girls don't understand that their friends actually get in their way and make it so that they may not meet that guy. Yeah. Or, their friends do kind of get in the way.
Now, to that end, you got the girls, they all go with each other because it's like, well, I ain't trying to get raped out here. I ain't trying to get date rape drugged, stuff like that. But you're like, it comes down to it. Most guys aren't out here being Pills Cosby, man. Every guy is not trying to.
You can't do that in the middle of a club. Like, if I want to go talk to this girl in the middle of the club, and the girls give you the look, the other girls give you the looks and all that other shit, probably because and I ain't gonna lie, it may be some ego there that they're salty that they're not being chosen as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's some of that, so they internalize that aggressiveness or that anger, and then just throw it out at any dude who shows up for their friend who don't want them. And it's just like, that's why you need, that's why the concept of a wingman is a thing. You need a wingman a lot of times. And I was the wingman. I had no intention with actually doing nothing with any of those girls, but at least I can run interference so my boy can have a clear, honest shot and have the time of his life with this girl. So, we went to the club and, we went to a bar and, look, they danced, they made out, hands all over each other doing their thing. But with the friends there telling her no, and like being a whole whatever about it, do you think she would have felt free enough to do that shit? Nope.
Right.
But here I come I came with a bucket of beer, and I said, this for the table. I just sat and just started talking to him, and okay, you're from Honduras? Cool. You from here? Wow. Like one of them girls, she been in America less than a year. Like, but it's Texas, so it is what it is in that front. But it was just like, yeah, man, it was just weird. It's not weird, but it's just crazy. Like, men have to be strategic in this way because for whatever reason, girls just block and they make it more difficult for their girls to receive men who actually would be good for them. Like traveling in a pack is one thing, but just be like, nah, fuck that. She doesn't want to talk to you. She's not interested. I'm like, bitch, I ain't talk to your ass. What you talking about? Why are you even addressing me? It's just one of those things, man. I'm just like, man, what the fuck is going on here? And I did my drunk white girl voice because that's exact. She doesn't like you. Go away. Leave us alone. Some shit like that. I don't know. Some rude shit like that.
And that part, you gotta have a little bit of game about you. You be very formal. Hey, I like your friend. I think she's attractive. And you gotta try to
Why the
win
fuck
over
you gotta
the
do
team.
that with them though? Because it's like it's like you trying to talk to her dad to get to ask permission to court his daughter. Like who the fuck? These girls ain't that.
But that's her circle. That I'll say, you pay respect to who they bring, because these are the people that because women, even two guys against girls in a fist fight, even though it's four girls, unless one of them got a taser or some shit, I'd probably still take the two guys, even if they was out of shit.
Well, yeah, but this ain't got nothing to do with fighting or violence. This is y'all in a club, and a man wants to come in and have a conversation with your girl, but a lot of situations, the girls will be like, nope, I don't approve of this, so it's not going to happen, or I don't have anybody, so it's not going to happen.
Well, my reference point is not the violence; it's this is her team of girls that she feels safe coming out with, and these are the people that, if anything go down in this club, these are the ones that are gonna cover her. These are the girls that are making sure she gets home safe at night. You know what I'm saying? We all came out as a team. We all went out for drinks. We danced. We had fun. All right. And just to make sure we all feel safe with each other and whoever, let me make sure that you make it home. I can't guarantee your safety if you leave here with this dude outside of being with us.
Well, it's not about leaving with the dude. It's about letting the nigga get up to you and approach you and have a conversation.
But the ultimate goal of the dude...
Well, of course, that's the ultimate goal of the dude, but that don't have to happen. But I'm saying the dude can't even the man can't even shoot a shot if the girlfriends are literally blocking. Like these hoes just pulling like NFL guards and shit.
Well, that's just
that's what I'm saying.
Just a social thing. And if a girl like you, if a girl really dig you, honestly, she's gonna just she's gonna tell her it's okay. I like him. It's cool. It's cool. I think he's cute. We can talk. So that's how you know that you're in there.
Oh yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's times where those rude friends might fuck up your whole vibe, and now you annoyed. You're like, man. Like now you feeling a little, like you was feeling good, and then they sowed this negative energy into your space, and now you just like, well, damn, I was trying to have fun, but then these motherfuckers came in, and it's one of them situations. But what I'm really getting at is, I just don't think women are that aware of, how negatively that can affect their night when it comes to, a man actually shooting a shot with you. Like sometimes, well, I'll just say it's not all the time, but a lot of the time men will look at that and be like, you know what? I have a higher probability of success if I go talk to a girl that's in this situation. Oh, she's over there and she only got one friend. Bet. Right. Oh, but she out there with 20 of them? That's going to be a lot harder. Like, it's just one of them situations where it's just like, we play the odds and we do what works in our favor because, and I know people hate hearing this, but it's just at the end of the day, it's like we're fucking, it might as well be Duck Dynasty out here, bro.
Who's the Duck Dynasty?
Like, we hunting. It's like, hey, you gonna use a tactic that doesn't work? Because, a lot of things that men do that women don't like, I'm like, yo, but this dude didn't decide to start doing this shit because it don't work. This man was like, yo, this shit works. And I'm gonna do it. Like, what was it? It was a situation where like a girl was complaining about dick pics. And I'm like, yo, I said, I feel you on that. Like, I get why that might, unsolicited dick pics is a problem. I agree with you on that. What I was trying to get her to understand was this man sends, it's very possible that this man sends dick pics to like legit 20, 30 women. And if it works for just 2 out of 30, it works.
Right.
And those girls just reinforce the shit, and he's just gonna keep doing it.
I mean, there's some girls that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like, we put it out there. This is what I'm offering, and then somebody either bites or, you know, it goes fishing with it, I guess. But
now, if he's actually let's just say blessed and not and not packing the standard issue, what they say, 6 to 7 inches or whatever,
which is plenty big enough, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, it gets the job done. Look, if it's average, obviously it gets the job done because we're having population control issues anyway. So, but it's just one of those things. It's like, yo, men do fucked up shit sometimes, and they form these habits, but they're forming the habits based on success rate. Like, yo, this or results. Just success at all. Like, yo, this is getting me results. Which is why, I heard like some woman, she was like, yo, like, I cringe at when I see a man, he's talking to this girl, now he's talking to that girl. And I'm like, yo, this motherfucker's playing the numbers. Like, he is trying to find a girl that he likes, that likes him, and that's it. And if it works with one girl and he shot his shot with like 15, it's a win. He just walked out with a girl or just got a number or made a connection with a girl that, to him is worthwhile. But it was just like, they don't see it that way from their point of view. They're like, oh, well, I'm not special. And it's like, well, you're not. There's literally hundreds of millions of women in this country. You're not special. So,
well, it comes down to, I would just say, girls like in the spot where they like, okay, this dude is just on the make. He's trying to holler at anybody. Yeah. I mean, you want to be exclusive as a man because no girl wants to feel like I was just the one that said yeah when I just watched you talk to everybody. Mm-hmm. But when you're a guy that's coveted and you're being successful with a lot of the women in the place, even you're like, man, that girl is gorgeous. I think she looks better than me, or she is a sexy, pretty woman. Damn. And you pulled her. Well, damn, if you talking to me because you are with that type of girl, then I got to, there's some marketability to a successful man.
Well, it's marketability to seeming like you're successful by having pretty women. That's why, like, one thing I didn't understand earlier in life was, yo, if you just date a girl who's bad as hell and you got pictures with her, other women will see those pictures and be like, damn. Like, all of a sudden, they not only do you see it for you, but they see it for you too. Now they see it for you, and it's like, okay, proving that you can get good-looking women makes other good-looking women look at you differently for whatever the fuck reason. Because I promise you this much, a woman say, hey, I dated NFL players, or I got this kind of chick, whatever else. That isn't going to make me want you more. That isn't even going to make me like, no, like, oh, dang, I'm really paying attention to her now. Like, if I don't like how you look, I don't like how you look. Point blank, period. Like, that's what it is to me. Ain't no woman ever got better looking because she was with a dude. But I don't know. You tell me it's just been my experience that, showing that you're hanging out with a girl who's really cute and the girl that other women view as really beautiful, it changes how they see you.
I agree to that. I definitely agree to that.
That isn't all women, so don't fucking add us on this shit. People on the internet, like, we're speaking in generalities, but I hope it's assumed that we're not talking about all women all the time, because obviously there are exceptions to every rule, and there's different flavors of people out there. But I'm sorry, keep going, bro.
if they trying to add us about this, it's like, yo, we're trying to speak in generalizations to protect people's, our, because we speaking. I'm not speaking from a place of guessing or just making up old generalizations. These are coming from experiences that I've had with the female sex. This is what I'm watching in the clubs and bars where single people are trying to find each other.
Now you're a DJ. You see the shit. You in the clubs. You see how shit works, man. Clubs is one of those places it's untouched by time. It's literally one of those places where Me Too and all this progressive shit it never hit. Women, if you're pretty, you'll get in for free. If you ugly, you won't. If you pretty, you ain't gotta pay to get in. If you ugly, you gonna pay.
I mean, it's just
if
what
you
it
pretty,
is.
you can get into VIP. If you ugly, I'm not letting you in VIP, and I've had that. Well, I mean, what they? Oh, what? Why the fuck? Why the hell would I want to attack these people? I'm sorry, the game is plotting out police for some reason. Well, I'm gonna punch this cop in the back of the head. Oh, so he is a cop. All right. I just got 3 stars. Hey, man. Yeah, it's just the whole, but the nightclub scene is really like, when you see it, it's just like, wow, all the girls is over here catering to a few men who can afford VIP and be in a baller space. And it's like, those dudes outside of VIP, there's way less women for them to deal with. Like, the girls is crowding those sections. They crowd those sections. They want to be in the VIP. They want to be with the baller. They want to be with the head nigga in charge, them dude with the money, the whatever. It's a thing. That's just the way that rolls. But that's just how life is. You know, it's just our job to work up to it.
What girl wants to be with the whack dude? If you think you got a chance at being with the $1 million ticket, you gonna try to take it. I don't blame girls for that.
Me neither.
I don't blame them.
Me neither. I just work my ass off to be the $1 million ticket.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've got to go hard, or I got to make sure that I'm clever. I got to make sure that I have something important to say. I have to make sure that I'm coming with something dynamic, and
looks do matter as well. Like, I mean, there's different ways men can get like, money is one way, but brother, you can work out, build yourself up. That's a different way. Like, there's other outs to getting, being seen as a desirable man. It's just not always money specifically, because obviously money is scarce and most people are poor.
Or just class, just having a better prestige about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
When you girls can tell when you're well, you got a good vocabulary, and really.
Something just changed with your. Okay. Start talking again.
Oh, hello.
Okay, it's back. You good?
Oh. Yeah, it's like, girls can tell when you got some class about you when you talk different than the other guys around, because you're well read.
Oh yeah, but that's
able
just
to speak to current events, and
that's.
You got an
I mean, really, I'm gonna just be real, bro. That's with the hood chicks. Like, I'm gonna just say, like, that should be with some of them girls that ain't really been exposed to much. So when you come offering something that ain't Ray or the gutter shit, they be like, oh damn, you're not like the rest of those people. You're different. You're this, you're that. It's just like, okay. Well, I mean, this shit ain't actually special. This is what you should expect from all men, but all right. But it is what it is, man. Yeah, we gonna wrap the stream up because we just kind of we free balling it right now. But hope y'all enjoyed the conversation. We gonna cut the stream, and because it has been a minute. So until next time, me and my main man Jerald, we'll see y'all later on. We'll come back with something else to talk about.
No doubt.
All right.
Yeah.